arched my back. Like, have you ever seen a humpback? How the hump is sticking out of the water? I did that with my asshole, my blowhole. I just spray shit everywhere. Turd Talks. Turd Talks. Turd Talks. Turd Talks. Turd Talks.
Welcome to Turd Talks. I am your loving host, Dr. Dude, here with Vane Doisel and Excellent Ray, and our special guest, back to give us some more juicy stories, the Santa Barbara mathematician, not Mr. White. Take it away, baby.
I used to work at AT&T. It was my first job out of college. You just work with the worst fucking people. I mean, because they don't really expect much from their employees, and those are the kind of people that they get. I was the exception, obviously. Selling accessories under the table for cash, not logging them into the system. I had been there for a couple years. We ended up moving to a nice, newer location that had, nice bathrooms, separate men's and women's bathrooms. So that'll come up a little later in the story. But something that's important to mention is the women that work there, the girls that work there, they were always fighting about something, about somebody took somebody's food or somebody thinks they look cute, different shit like that. I forget what gave me the idea, but there was something wrong in the bathroom. Like somebody left their makeup in the bathroom, or there was some dispute over the bathroom and how people weren't using it properly on the girl side. The guys didn't give a shit. Like we threw wet paper towels at each other and shit like that. Ours was a wreck. So we really didn't care. But the girls, if the bathroom wasn't perfect, they complained about it. They said, Roberta's leaving shit everywhere. Stuff like that. So one day when I was closing, and it was just dudes closing. And I didn't tell any of the guys I was doing this because I was scared that they'd let the secret out. Yeah. So what I did, in the girls' bathroom, there were two separate stalls. I went into the first stall. I took a shit. Big shit, right? We worked next to a Baja Fresh, so those are the kind of shits that I was rolling with. I shat in the first stall, and then I wanted it to be very clear and visible, so I didn't want any toilet paper covering it up. So I kind of shuffled over to the next stall, cleaned my ass, flushed, and just left that turd in that one stall overnight. Sure enough, in the break room the next day, Sandra comes in, and she's like, "Oh, hell no. Fucking Roberta. That bitch is nasty. She left a fucking turd in there, and she didn't even wipe.
There's no toilet paper.
There's no toilet paper. She didn't wipe.
There was nice tea in there. Yeah. Steeping.
So, yeah. Nice brew. Poo brew. And so I was like, oh, that is so fucked up. She didn't wipe? Oh, that's gross. So now I'm on Sandra's side talking shit about Roberta, right? So a couple nights later, I do the same thing. But the next morning, it was Roberta's shift. So Roberta comes in, she's like, nasty ass Sandra. She took a shit. She didn't clean her ass. It's just a big turd I didn't know women could shit that big. So now I'm on Roberta's side against Sandra. And this whole thing, it ended up going on for a couple more weeks. But I never told them. So to this day, the girls probably think, when the other person's name come up, oh yeah, the shitter.
Let me tell you something about her. She got a wide asshole.
She's stretched.
She's stretched out. Both in the same way.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was a good one.
You were the phantom shitter.
The phantom shitter. And I think I told it maybe a couple of guys, but for the most part, I was the only one that knew. So it was like my little secret.
Nice.
My little poo. And I think, because this went over the course of a couple months. I wasn't doing it like every day, but whenever I think about it and had to shit at night, I would go in there and drop one. But along the way, right, because I'd worked with Sandra and Roberta for years, but there would be like new female employees that didn't know anybody, and they'd just be like, oh, I don't know if I want to work here. They never, I don't know if it was because of that or just a coincidence, but none of the new girls lasted very long.
Can't imagine why. Hey, let's dive right into the next one.
So this is at a bachelor party in my 20s at some point. We were at a lake. I'm not really big into the water, but my buddies, all of them, are like to do the wakeboarding and the tubing and all that shit. They dragged me out on this boat. I didn't want to go. So I'm not water skiing or wakeboarding or tubing. I'm just kind of sitting in the back of the boat drinking. As bachelor parties go, you typically drink a shit ton and not eating the best food, maybe see a titty or two.
Yeah.
At the strip club, right? So we're out on the lake. We've been out there for several hours. I realize I have to shit. They don't want to go back. They think I'm just saying I want to shit because I don't want to be out there anymore, which is both are true. I jump out into the water, and this is during when the next guy's getting on the raft, on the tube to get pulled. So I had a little bit of time because they also wouldn't stop for me.
You got 30 seconds while we're switching rafters.
So I jump out, and I just I pull down my pants to my knees so I don't lose my shorts, right? And I just I had like arched my back. Like, have you ever seen a humpback? How the hump is sticking out of the water? I did that but with my asshole, my blowhole, and I just spray shit everywhere. It was definitely liquid.
You had a nice spout.
It was liquid. There was a spout. There was not too terribly big, but enough that you could see it. Where the other guy in the back of the boat looking at me went, ugh. And there was a couple of like healthy chunks in there too somehow that made it out. That didn't become completely liquefied by all the booze in my gut. So I'm realizing that I only have a little bit of time because they're gonna drive off without me. Yeah. So I spray it out. I get back onto the boat. There's like shit on my legs, on my back. Like it kind of crept up my back. I'm not a strong swimmer, so the current kind of took it up. So my buddy, he's like Casey, you have shit all over your back. So I jump back in the water. I do a quick rinse. Still probably not good enough. Get back in the boat. And the guy that was driving the boat, this guy named Thad. His name is, Thaddeus. But his name is fucking Thad. I mean, how square can you get? So he was like one of the peripheral friends.
Hurry up, Casey.
So yeah, he's like,
I want to go.
So he didn't, and I expected, I was like, oh, Thad's gonna think poorly of me when he finds out I shit and had it all over my back and everything. By this time, our buddy Trevor is in the tube. And Thaddeus finally hears. He's like, Casey did what? So he gets up and looks, and it's perfect. Like between the boat and the guy in the tube, there's just a brown like oil slick. It looks like when you see the Exxon when they fucking have the oil tanker spill, and you could see it floating in the water. It was like that, but it was a big fucking brown oil slick.
It had some seabirds all stuck in it
with some big chunks mixed in there also. And I'm like, oh no, Thaddeus is gonna call the trip. He's gonna be disgusted. He goes, dude, Trevor's right behind that thing. He jumps in front of it. He jumps. He puts it full throttle. Drags Trevor, and Trevor can see it. And he can see it coming up. No. But he goes right through the oil slick of shit.
That's great. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I want to talk to Thad. I want to Thaddeus. I will say you make up 3 out of the 4 people in this room right now who have shit in a lake. So
I've never even been in a lake. So that must be y'all.
And also not just shit in a lake, but also being submerged and shitting in a lake.
Yes.
Like underwater and shitting.
Oh, we're not high diving.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Trevor in a couple months. Thaddeus unfriended me on Facebook. In his defense, he's actually a pretty cool guy. I mean,
he sounds pretty chill.
Yeah, he sounded pretty smooth.
He drove someone through shit.
Yeah, you gotta be kind of cool to do that. Turd Talks.
This is back when poker was really big, online poker, and so you'd be in these poker tournaments, and they lasted several hours sometimes. So you couldn't take a break to poo. You just kind of had to run to the bathroom.
Because it's all live and stuff?
Yeah, because you're playing live. So this is one of the times where I didn't have the whole turtle coming out. I felt the turtle head, and I was like, okay, I got to do something. So I got up, and I ran to the bathroom. I could hear, because the poker tournaments make noise, so it'll ding at you when it's your time to act. And yeah. So I had to do it. Ended up having to run back and forth a couple times without, as soon as I would start to squeeze more out, it would ding. I have to go back. So I had shit hanging out of my ass
in little increments,
and I'm running back and forth. And so finally, one of the times I'm sitting there, at my desk, and I smell shit. I'm like, oh no. And I get up, and it was on the back of my leg. So a nugget, in between running over and sitting down, a nugget had fallen onto the toilet seat, and then I mushed it.
Oh yeah.
So it was stuck onto the seat and stuck onto my leg and stuck onto my desk chair. So sad and shit again that time. Have you guys ever taken Metamucil?
No.
So I take Metamucil consistently now because
What is that for?
it's like a fiber.
It's like
Thickens up your dumps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. For people that have a lot of liquid dumps, it'll get them into a nice solid piece.
Blood plasma.
I might try that.
You should, especially after you hear this story. So the first time I tried Metamucil, I was at work. I wasn't feeling well. My boss goes, he's like, look, man, take some Metamucil. It'll clear your stomach right up. You drinking last night? Like, yeah. He goes, this will help out. This will help clear all that nasty shit out of your body. It's supposed to be like a cleanse, right, of your intestines. It basically, like, as it's going through your system, it grabs all the nasty shit that's hanging on your intestinal walls.
Oh, that's good.
And then kind of clumps them together, and then you shit them out. But what typically happens is, you'll notice that the first time you do it, your shit's a little bit different. What happened with me is, again, I try to never take the recommended dosage of anything like sleeping pills or anything. So with the Metamucil, it's like, take one hefty scoopful. So I took one, and then an hour later I hadn't shit yet. So then I did like 3 or 4 additional scoops. Definitely way too much, but it was kind of cool what happened. So
You shit a cinder block.
I was at my buddy's house that night. Felt the urge to poo, and I was kind of drunk. I had completely forgotten about the Metamucil. So I was in his bathroom taking a shit. When you can feel the shit come out, you can feel approximately how much has come out of your ass.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a little one or a big one.
Yeah.
And then if it's a big one, you can, you usually get to that point where you can feel it, where it's about to break off and pinch off and fall down. Mm-hmm. So with this one, I had the good feeling of this long turd coming out, but then the end of it wasn't coming. So I look down between my legs, and all I can describe it as is it looked like a rope, like a braided rope.
Wow.
Which was like, I can only assume was, different intestines and cleanse intestines out, and then weaving them together inside of my colon and then being pressed out. So it looked like a shit rope.
You shit your sphincter out.
But I'm
like
looking
a cast of the sphincter, like the
So I'm looking down,
mold.
yeah.
and I'm drunk, so I don't remember taking the Metamucil. So I thought I was shitting out my intestines, and I didn't know what else to do but reach my hand.
Oh,
you broke it off?
You broke the Grogan?
Pulled it.
You pulled it out?
Pulled the rope.
You were able to pull it?
When did it stop?
I
did it
pulled
just
it.
keep coming
It
out?
didn't just like break when you grabbed it?
No, about
It was-
another.
it was solid
and
enough that you were able to pull it?
You'll find this
Like a clown's handkerchief. It just keeps coming out.
with Metamucil. You'll find this. It makes the shit like gelatinous almost, but still firm. Wow. And so I was pulling. It was kind of stretchy, but it was still. I was pulling another 6 or 7 inches
cord.
No way.
of poop out of my asshole.
You actually pulled it
I
out.
pulled it out.
That's like anal
And I,
sex almost.
and I had to wash my hand.
this is a good advertisement for Metamucil.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna try it now.
I do
I'm
it
gonna give it a
I've
every
been
day.
kind of wanting to try anal sex, but I think I'll just do Metamucil.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's a stepping stone on the way, a gateway,
Over here
A
at,
gape way.
gaping way.
over here at Turd Talks, we have a strict no advertisement policy, but
Right.
we might have to change it.
Make an exception.
Yeah.
For this.
Well, you'd probably Juicy Mike's if they came on board. You'd pick up that sponsor, right?
Maybe. It
Juicy Mike's.
does make me shit quite a bit.
Well, there you go.
But go on. So
Extra juice.
you're yanking a stiff 7-incher out of you.
So I pulled it out.
7. It was 7.
I pulled it
The
out.
last 7.
I kind of I went, oh. So my buddy was like, he's like, knocking on. He's like, you all right in there? I was like, yeah, man. And I was too embarrassed because I was like, I think there's something wrong with me. I don't want to tell my buddy. I was kind of embarrassed about it. And as I was washing the shit off of my hand,
Did it come out
which
clean,
is-
though,
which is
when
a
he
totally-
finally pulled the end of it?
Oh yeah, I wiped my ass. There was nothing
Really?
on the toilet paper.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a very ignominious thing to wash off poop from your hand.
Metamucil available at your local.
A clean sever. I pulled out
drugstore.
the remaining bit. I felt a couple pounds lighter.
George Brett would be proud.
Yeah.
I've tried, and that was many years ago. I've been taking Metamucil ever since. Tried to recreate it, and it's only that first time.
one that
Yeah.
does it cleans everything out, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's some meta comedy for you folks. Hope you enjoyed. For Vane Doisel, Excellent Ray, and not Mr. White, I am Dr. Dude. Hope you have a sexy afternoon. Turd Talks. Turd Talks. Turd Talks.